Hey everybody, I'm Sean Walker from iTrain Hockey. I'm going to do a remote coaching video. Yaroslav, who's 8 years old, sent me a video of a couple of his shots, slap shot, a couple wrist shots as well too. So I'm going to do a very quick shot review and just try to improve a few of his techniques. He's got a really great shot. There's just a few things to add a little bit of power to his shot that we need to work on in his technique. Okay, so first thing, if I'm shooting it in this direction to my right, Yaroslav, when he sets up, he's sitting up with his feet really close together. And so what I want to try to do is first get in a nice wide stance. And if I'm shooting it to my right here, if my hockey net is over here to my right, instead of having my legs lined up with my target, I want him to actually point his toes to his target. And what this is going to do is it's going to help us once we transfer all of our skills off the ice and we transfer them back onto the ice. We don't skate sideways, so we're not going to line up our feet in this way when we shoot. Instead, we point our toes at our target. That's the first step. Second step, I want him, when he set up, he had a nice positioning where his hands were, nice and low. But what he ended up doing was, I'll show it this way because this is the way he was facing. He went down, then he went up into his windup. And this is a really common thing that a lot of players do. So Yaroslav, when we're actually taking our shot, instead of adding that extra, you started here, instead of adding this extra down position and then up, all that's really doing, it's almost like you're setting it up, you're making sure, yep, that's where my puck is. It's almost like just before we're playing golf, we kind of like line our feet up, line our golf club up with the ball, and we're making sure, okay, yeah, it's in a good position. So instead of doing that, all I want you to do is set yourself up for the appropriate perfect conditions to begin with, which is you can, again, have your feet lined up with your target if that's what you want to do, and you can have your heel in line with the puck. So right now the puck is in line with my belly button, and all I'm going to do is just push it ahead just a little bit so that it's just a little bit past the midpoint of my body. And here's a good position number one. So I can start in this position, and now all I'm going to do from here is go up. I'm going to go right into the wind up. So here's my position one, position two, position three, and position four. Wind up is the setup is position one, wind up is position two. Position three is the weight transfer. Transfer your weight from your back leg to your front leg. And then position four is the follow through, where you're actually going to point to your target. So instead of adding an extra position where we have position one, and then we go position two, and then three, and then four, and then five, we're just adding in that extra position. We only want 4 positions instead of 5. So I'm going to start with my toes facing my target. Puck's almost right underneath my chin, and it's in a nice position there, a little bit to my left. By the time I hit it, it'll be underneath my chin. So position one, I set up and face my net. My toes as well as my shoulders are facing my target. Position two, I'm going to wind up and place weight on my back leg. Position three, I step that leg forward, and as I step that leg forward, my stick is going to start to move down, make contact, and then position four is my follow through. So that's a nice way for us to shoot, and it keeps us nice and well coordinated, and it keeps us in a nice stable stance when we take our shot. Instead of a skinny stance, we want to think about ourselves like a tree. We want a thick oak tree where it's really hard for anyone to move us. If they were trying to push us off from taking a shot, they wouldn't be able to move us because we're nice and solid. Down nice and low, and by the time I take my shot, I'm really low, pointing to my target, and I'm in a nice athletic stance. 1, 2, and then 3, 4, wire that shot. Nice and powerful.